Oh, you know what you guys are?
Hey guys, it's Scuzzy, and I haven't made a video in a really long time, probably about 5 or 6 months, and that was on my alternate account. But so here it is, Invention. I'm here in the Invention Guild in Falador, and as you can see, I'm wearing my 120 cape. I haven't actually worn this other than when I first got it, and actually now. So let's take a look at Invention. The cool thing is you can open up this little what do they call it? The guide for the skill while you're actually dismantling some stuff. Wait, what am I doing? I'm dismantling the yeah, okay. So anyways, what I'm doing right now is I'm dismantling some rune plate bodies into my Invention pouch, and we'll go ahead and take a look at this. For a lot of my XP, I actually dismantled, let's see, we'll go through more as we go through the video, but you can see, you know, I have 49,000 base parts, 56,000 plated parts. I did a lot of rune plate bodies. I guess over 50,000 of them, maybe? That seems like a lot. No, whatever. But yeah, so those are the main components, or main parts. And then I have, you know, just this kind of stuff, and then the rare materials. And then this is the junk materials that I have. I have 223,000 of them. Yeah, so you can kind of see already that I took apart a lot of items, and yeah, so let's talk about what happened with Invention. Well, first I want to take a look at my money pouch, and as you can see here, I have just under 5 billion, and that's not all that I have left. I have some more money on some of my other accounts, but yeah, most of my bank was depleted from Invention. And when I was going, you know, when I was doing preparation for Invention, and this past whole, not this past year, yeah, 2015, basically, since I got max XP, I got 5.2 bill in January of 2015. I had the rest of the year to make money, and at that point I didn't even know if Invention was gonna be like a thing, so I was like casually making money or whatever. But by the end of, you know, by the time Invention came around, I had around 22 billion just from merching this whole year, or sorry, this last year is 2016 now, which I'm still not getting used to. But yeah, so I prepped for Invention with around 22 bill. Most of that was in items. I had around maybe 500 mil cash, but most of that was in items. What I did was, I don't know if I have a picture of what I actually had in my bank. You know what, give me a sec. I might be able to pull up a picture for you guys. Okay, that took about 15 minutes, but I finally found the picture of my bank. This was January 22nd, so a couple days before Invention came out. But you can see some random crap on the top. But I had 1,000 of each of these. It's a real shame. I had 56 you know, sets of all of the Drygores. I had some Barrows, Bandos, some Subjugation, Armadillo. I had a lot of coal, because, you know, I was planning on doing the Dwarven Tech Tree, which I did do anyways. I bought some cut gems. Then it was talked about on Reddit that uncut gems would be worth more, so then I went and I bought some of them. That's why those are like half of these. It's because of that. 1,000 rune armor sets, which I got royally fucked in the beginning because you can't dismantle the box sets. I had to go and undo that, and these are from a scam when someone was scamming me at the GE. I was being too nice to them and ended up buying those for a lot. And some of this other stuff, like this was for when I was doing Strange Rocks, and I was doing the fletching, so I just did that. I guess that was just in my bank. I had about 15,000-20,000 of each of the energies. Sorry, my family in the background. So, during January of, sorry, what was I talking about? I am actually pretty tired. You guys probably understand because, as you saw earlier, I'm 155 mil in this skill. I haven't slept that much. We can talk about that in a little bit. This is probably going to be a very longish kind of video. My videos are usually pretty long anyways. But yeah, so I had, you know, all this stuff, 100,000 Elder. Those were from when I was doing the Elder Chronicles. I was actually trying to get the, like I said, Elder Chronicles for the trim requirement, and I ended up just, you know, instead of actually getting the XP, because I don't need the XP, I just converted it into memories, or not, sorry, converted the memories into energy. Then I had 2 million of the incandescent because, well, I didn't know how much I was going to need. I didn't really want to buy 10 million, so I just went with 2 million. I bought some shield bows, and one of these was unstrung. Yeah, unstrung, that's what it's called. I didn't really know what to spend my last couple of bill on, so I just threw it into this kind of stuff because, you know, I felt maybe the early levels would have kind of, you know, like I don't want to dismantle this, you know, Dragors and like heavy armors and stuff when I was first starting, so I just bought a couple of, you know, easy items like that. And no, before we go any further, I was not leaked any information from any Jagex mods, any friends, anybody like that. This is all speculation from what I've seen on either Reddit or, you know, access to the stuff that the JMods have posted on Twitter, which every one of you had access to as well, so that technically wasn't leaked to me. I was just using my noggin, so to speak, and this is just speculation of what I thought would be in the skill. So, let me just playing on my guy on the other monitor. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm saying way too much. I'm just very tired, guys. I had some Dragon Rider. I didn't know if that was going to be the main way to get the Dragon Rider. Well, not Dragon Rider. The Dragon... Yeah, Dragon Rider. Dragon Slayer perk. I didn't know if that was going to be the way, but, you know, I bought it anyways. I got a couple of sets of Torva, the box sets, and then also they said on Twitter, some of the JMods said on Twitter, or I think his name's Mod Moltaire or something, but he's basically the spokesman for Jagex on our behalf on Twitter. So, yeah, so they said that there are not going to be any augmentable features to helmets, gloves, or boots, and obviously jewelry coming on the release. So I decided not to buy any of that stuff because it would have been worthless to me anyways. So I ended up buying just the bottoms and the tops, and I'm sorry if you can hear my family in the background. My brother just got home from work. Just give me a sec, guys. Sorry about that. So yeah, so about 10 to 15 sets of each of these, and then the tops and the bottoms. I didn't know really which way I was gonna go. Like I said, all this stuff at the top was the main bulk of what I was investing in for to train with, and also to do a little bit of merch. The stuff at the bottom is kind of like, what can I do with my last like 5 or 6 bill? What can I do with my last, you know, chunk, and still get some use out of it instead of it just sitting in a pile collecting dust? Because if anyone knows me personally, they'll know that I almost never have my my bank in no, oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. It's just like I'm really tired, and it's it's not even that late. I've just been up way too much for this skill, and so basically, anyways, you guys get an idea. There's a lot of items in here, and it came to around 22 billion for my total bank. I don't know if this all adds up to it, but as you can see, like looking back at like the items that I had, I wish I kept these staff of lights because I could have made 2.5 bill from that. I wish I could have kept these Drygores. You know, you look at this tab and you say, what was he thinking when he bought these items? Well, what I was thinking was basically how the skill is currently. I was planning on training Slayer actually with the either Drygores or the Scythe, but mainly the Drygores. That's why I bought so many of them. I wasn't sure how many I would need, and you know what? If I had excess of them, I could sell them off. I was hoping maybe I'd make, you know, twice my bank. Unfortunately, that's not how it went, but it is okay because I'm not bankrupt, and I will be getting 200 mil tomorrow, but by the time this goes up, I'll probably already be 200 mil. I'll probably just, no, I won't throw this part in here because I can see right now it's already 11 minutes and I've only talked about the preparation for it. So anyways, let me bring my screen back up, and we can see a little bit of what I was thinking, and we can talk about how I trained the skill. So let's go to my friends chat. Now, there's usually no one in my friends chat. For the longest time, it was just me in my friends chat, and but you can see there's a lot of people in my friends chat now, and that's because of this new skill. People have taken a liking to, you know, the race and seeing who's gonna be first and whatnot and whatnot. They talk about, you know, random stuff in the chat, and I don't, honestly, I don't pay attention that much because I'm not used to having a friends chat, and I'm not used to running a friends chat. Let me just get rid of a couple of these. Yeah, so Windows. But yeah, so I started out. Actually, you know what? Let me bring up some of those pictures because I took some pictures of me perfecting the first couple of what are they called? Blueprints for this inventor's workbench. Let me just pull those up real quick. Okay, as we can see here, this I believe is the first item that you ever make in the invention skill. I still don't really know how to use this Gizmo thing, but yeah. So we have this first item. I don't know what order this goes in. It's like kind of like mixed up, but we can go through these pictures a little bit. We can see this is our second item, is the Gizmo, and basically when I first started, I went in here and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go in here. I love puzzles. I'm a puzzle kind of guy, and I'm going to, you know, you get this thing called inspiration here at the top left. Excuse me. And you use this inspiration to kind of get a feel to, like, if you were an inventor in real life, you would say, you know, like if you're, you know, just talking about something or thinking about something and something pops into your head and you're like, oh, that would be a really good idea if I could, you know, do that. Like, for example, I moved my computer and my whole setup into my bedroom for the first time, literally ever in my existence. I've always had my computer in the living room, which is over in that room, and but I built my own computer back in December, and I came in here, and my desk is a corner desk, but it's not in the corner, and it's kind of a far reach for me to get to my keyboard, let's say, or my mouse. So I had the thought, well, okay, I need some more space, so why don't I just put a, you know, a piece of wood or a sliding piece of wood underneath to hold my keyboard and my mouse. So that would be that would be like an inspiration kind of thing. So that's what they did with this skill. I really do like it, and it's kind of nifty that you have this little puzzle at the bottom, and if you optimize it perfectly, then you um, I tried to do them as best I could. I did probably around 99% of them perfectly, but since I was doing the race, I didn't want to spend too much time on trying to get these different blueprints finished. So let's take a step back and let's look at these other pictures. So this one is an augmenter. It's the next one up, but I did take these pictures to help one of my friends out, or some of my friends out, in case they needed a little help. But the way that it works, it's different for everyone. So if you're thinking that this is the exact recipe for an augmenter for everyone, that's not entirely the case. So let's skip kind of ahead. There's things called like Gizmo Dissolver, that kind of thing. Um, let's see, what else do we have? So basically, I took a step in and I said, well, what are we going to do? We're going to look at some of the items that we have. Let's see if we can dismantle an overload. So I took an overload dose 4, which I had in my bank. I had around 28,000 of them from just training Herbalore to 200 mil back in the day. And, I said, let's try it out. So I looked at it, it said junk chance is 0%, and which means literally you can't get junk from it, and it can potentially give you delicate parts, organic parts, crafted parts, enhancing components, and healthy components. Now, I didn't know what any of that really meant on start, but look at that list of items just from an untradeable thing that I didn't even have to buy, and I had 28,000 of them. So then let's see if I have another picture of it. But see, this is a 4 dose. I don't know. These are not in order of when I actually took them. So, like, give me a second and I'll try to figure it out. Yeah, so these should be in order, the way these are here. But, yeah, so if we go quickly kind of look through these, we can kind of see that, I took pictures of the different types of blueprints and how I got them, and then I went on to, what is this? This here is just the creation of it and what parts I needed for it. So we can go back and look at these things. See, I almost want to open this up in a new window so it doesn't mess up this one. Let's see how that is. So yeah, this is the Overload 4. And now if we go back here and we go to this one, open it in a new tab. This one, I believe, is Overload 3, which is exactly the same. It says junk chance 0%, and it is the exact same parts. You can see I'm doing a side-by-side comparison. They're the exact same. So I was like, well, wait, hold on. What did I just do? No, I don't want to click a check. So open a new tab. This one is now an overdose. Sorry. This is an overload dose 1. So, it is exactly the same. So I'm like, why would Jagex code it like that? Did they miss something? So, basically, I disassembled a lot of those in one dose. And I noticed after a little while that I was, excuse me, I'm moving around. I noticed that I was only getting one part, one component, one material, whatever it was at the time. It was only one of them. Or maybe it was 2 with the 1 dose. And then I tried doing it with the 4 dose, and I ended up getting 4 of the items. So in reality, at first I thought it was good to use the 1 dose, because 0% chance, and then you get 4 times as many. But in reality, they did code it. Either they didn't code it or they hotfixed it. One of the two. Or they did code it or they hotfixed it, sorry. But the fact of the matter is, it's better to use the 4 dose because you get 4 times the amount of materials from it. And it takes less time. So, let's see here. So when I went in here, and I tested a lot of different items, and I looked at their junk chance and the different components they give. Basically stuff that everybody does, or at least I think that everybody does. So let's go through a little bit more to see what kind of pictures we have. Okay, so I took a look at these pictures here because I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to show all of them. I mean, you can kind of see through some of the thumbnails here, what the items are, but I'm not sure if I want to actually show all of them exactly right now. But one of the ones that I want to show is this one here is a Rune two-handed sword. It has a junk chance of 43%. The 43%, I believe, is because I had, at the time, I had level almost I had over I think it was over 90, but I had the blueprints for the junk chance reducer. I don't remember what level it was, but it gave a little, it's a little bit helpful. But this one, it gives base parts, blade parts, metallic parts, sharp parts, and sharp components and strong components. Now, the main things that I want from this item, the reason why I did the two-handed sword, is because of the nice amount of blade parts and the strong components from it. I believe the base parts, sorry, did I say base part? No, I meant blade parts. The blade parts and the strong components. Because I noticed that to make weapon, a weapon gizmo, you need blade parts, you need crafted components, and you need strong components as well. So, basically, I was looking for items that would help me on my endeavor for that, and for it to be relatively easy for me to get those items, and really, money was not, it wasn't an issue for me, because, like I said, I had around 23 bill when I started, and now that I think about it, like, I did spend a lot on the Rune stuff, but, I am glad it turned out the way it did, obviously, and tomorrow, hopefully you guys will be able to join me for my 200 mil. Hopefully I'll be the first one to get it, and we can have a great time. So, yeah, so I was looking for things that would actually help me to progress in the skill. So, Rune two-hander swords were the first thing that I looked at. The second, well, not really the first thing that I looked at, but it was one of the first things that I actually felt like it was going to be a good thing for me to do. So the second item that I really, really liked was the Rune plate body. It gives you cover parts, plated parts, deflecting parts, strong components as well, and it also gives protective components. Now, I'm just going to look on my guide really quick. There are two types of gizmos. There's the armor gizmo shell, and the weapon gizmo shell. So we talked about the weapon, but let's talk about the armor one. So you need deflecting parts, crafted parts, and protective components. So deflective and protective. So this one gives deflecting parts, which is good. It gives it often, and then it has protective components as well, which gives rarely, but it's not that rare. I mean, you're dismantling a couple thousand of these an hour, you're gonna get some protective components. And all this other stuff I used for, it was kind of like junk to me at the time. But after I made the gizmos, I used those other parts because I got them so much. I used them to enhance, we'll get to it in a second. But yeah. So let's see. Here we go. Here's the one that everybody wants to see. Hand cannon. Okay? Hand cannon. Now, before you go jumping on my ass about this, I was not leaked this method, as I said before. And it was a struggle for me to actually figure out about this item. I got to I was around level 40, 45, and I wasn't at the level yet when people started getting like crazy. I don't know if you guys remember, but people were starting to get crazy amounts of XP. Like it jumped from like getting a couple levels an hour to or like a couple 100K an hour, like maybe like 100,000. I believe it was like 100,000 an hour at this point, for me personally. And then I saw these other people getting, and they got like 1.5 million an hour, and I was like, whoa, what are they doing? They're doing something crazy. I need to figure this out like right now. So I started like brainstorming and reverse engineering what they were doing. At first I was like, okay, calm down. You need to figure out what they can do at this level and why it started at that level. So I went and I looked at, level 49, and it happened to be, let's see, it was like, it is obviously the explosive components, but there was a couple of other ones as well. And so I did research all of them, trying to figure out like what the heck it could have been. So it was explosive components and dragonfire components. So two components. And so I was like, dragonfire components, man. I did, like, you saw my bank here. I didn't have any Dragonfire components. Like, nothing in there would give me Dragonfire components in my mind. And sure enough, none of them, I don't think, did give any Dragonfire components. So, yeah, so back to the hand cannon. So I was like, okay, so it's an explosive. Like I was like, it's got to be an explosive. Is it an explosive Chinchampa, whatever, And then I looked up on Reddit. I was like, well, there's an augmented Chinchampa, augmented mechanical Chinchampa. I was like, what the hell is this? I don't even know what the fuck this is. I don't know how to make it. It's not showing up on my screen. At this point, I'm like freaking out, like trying to figure out, because I really did want rank 1, and I was like scared, like I was not gonna get it, because I was missing something. I felt like I was missing something. So I did a little more research, and I started like buying things that could be potential explosives. So I bought an extra cannon, not a hand cannon. I bought like a dwarven cannon, a multi-cannon, and I tried to dismantle it. I wish I had a picture for it. Better yet, I wish I actually filmed most of this stuff. Most of this stuff is just like, I could just be bullshitting you, but if I didn't have video. But yeah, so you just kind of have to take my word for it. But so I tried to dismantle Dwarven Cannon, and it was like, you can't dismantle this. I was like, why? Why can't I just? This is a freaking, like, why can't I dismantle this? So I was like, what else is there? And I was like, what about those little bags that you throw into the hand cannons? Completely missing the hand cannon part of it. So I still have 500 of those in my bank. So I bought one of those, and I was like, wait, maybe hand cannon. So I bought a hand cannon, and it was not buying. So I was like, whoa. So maybe this is it, because it's not buying. So maybe it is it. So I ended up buying a couple, or I guess the buy limit was 50. So I bought 50 for 50,000 each. I dismantled it, and it gave 7 explosive components, and I was like, this is definitely what it is, because it doesn't make sense to have 7 explosive components on your for something so low. It just didn't make any sense. So anyways, I was like, this is the method. The buy limit is 50. I need to get my ass into gear and get some of these. And I might leave it at that for right now. It'll probably give you guys a little incentive to come back maybe for another video, so I can explain, even more of how I achieved what I achieved and how I achieved it and stuff. And also the fact that it's almost a 30-minute video already, and I can't really speed up my voice, because that would sound like a chipmunk at that point. But basically, I just want to wrap up by saying like what I'm doing now, because I don't know when this video is going to get out. I don't know if I'm going to make another video, if I'm not going to make another video. It really all depends. But there is a lot of other interesting stuff, and I could make a guide, or multiple guides on Invention. It's a very complex skill, and I think if Jagex is watching this video, because I know that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get rank 1. I'm pretty far ahead of everybody else at this point. Let me just quickly check to see if anybody gained. No, see, yeah, they didn't really gain that much XP. if at all. Rank 2 didn't gain any at all. So, what was I saying? No, yeah, so if Jagex is watching this, I just want to let you know that, like, I'm not upset at all with how Invention came out and stuff, and I was really, really, what's the word? My heart went out for you guys because when I saw the streams and the videos and like on YouTube and stuff, you guys seem so exhausted, and like I know that I'm one of the one of the big reasons why you guys are like so exhausted, and I'm sorry for that. It's just like Invention wasn't exactly what I was planning it to be. I was planning it to be, well, not I was planning it. I was assuming that it was gonna be, you know, you augment your gear and you go train it on Slayer or bossing or something like that, and that it seems like that's what it was supposed to be. It just that's not how it panned out for a couple of reasons, mainly because the perks and stuff. But and then I kind of took advantage of that because I wanted to get rank 1. Now, if it were to come out like with the augments and stuff first, there's no doubt I would have done it like that off the bat. I'm not the kind of person that takes advantage of like bug abuse and that sort of stuff. Like I stay away from that type of stuff, but it did not seem like a bug because it wasn't just hand cannons. It was literally all the perks. They were way too they weren't balanced very. They were too. There were just too much XP for it. And I could show on I did a spreadsheet before Invention came out because I wanted to be prepared for whatever came my way. I could just plug in some numbers and see what the experience I would get, how much it would cost me, etc., etc., so I would be ahead of the game. I just wanted to make every precaution that I could possible to ensure that I would get rank 1 as far as that goes. But again, like I said, I apologize to Jagex for making you go through all of that. I know it's not entirely my fault. I know it is your guys' fault as well. But yeah, I'm really glad and excited to see how Invention unfolds in the future and stuff. I know I'm gonna be 200 mil tomorrow, but I'm still gonna be doing Invention because it's really cool because you can either lose your money, lose your bank, or you can make bank with this skill. So I think that's really cool. And yeah, this video is getting way too long. I just wanted to end, talking about how, like, I'm not mad at Jagex. I hope Jagex isn't mad at me. I'm really thankful that you guys didn't roll me back or ban me or anything like that because it wasn't my intention to like abuse something to the point where it's like this guy's cheating. And sure, I guess it's kind of like a disadvantage, but that 22 bill that I had, I freaking made that myself. It's not like that took me a year to make. And I'm sorry, but like money's not that hard to make in this game anymore. And for people to be mad at me for having money that I made myself in the game and then using it to gain XP, it does not seem like it's very fair to someone who has the money, And I mean, it would be a totally different story if I had bought bonds for that and whatever, but I didn't. I didn't do that. But anyway, so I'm not mad at Jagex. I hope Jagex is not mad at me. I haven't been visited by any Jagex moderators yet. Kind of bummed out about that because I was the first one to get 99. I was the first one to get 120. I was the first one to get 150, and I'm probably going to be the first one to 200 mil. I really hope that they visit me tomorrow when I get the 200 mil or before that, so we can just have a good time because I really like the skill. It's not that I don't like the skill. I really do like the skill, and it's cool because I'm technically an inventor in real life. I'm a civil engineer, but I'm also I invent some things. I really can't talk about it, but because they're not patented yet. But I do invent things, and it was pretty cool to see a take that Jagex did on it. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you do want the rest of um, the story behind how I got my levels, then just post in the comments below, and we'll see what happens. And there'll probably be a 200 mil XP video, and yeah, so pretty excited, and yeah, see you guys.